Welcome to the inaugural episode of Nisus Nation. I am your host, Jason, and today I have the honor of hosting President Lee Barrett and also the Director of Business Development, Mr. Harry Bryant. Guys, welcome to the show, and if you could please just tell us a little bit about Nisus and some of the history of the company.
Okay, well, Nisus got its beginnings in 1990. We are a manufacturer of sustainable pest control products and wood preservation chemicals. As I mentioned, we started in 1990. Began with one product, and that was the boil care product. And then over the course of years of training and visiting with customers and just talking to them about our products, we just started adding products one by one every single year, adding more and more customers every single year, to the point where now we're pretty big player in our industry. I've been here for 30 years. Nisus has been around for almost 35. So I've been a part of that growth from the early years to where we are today. It's been quite an amazing journey. In the early years at Nisus, it was a true American success story. It began by just taking a seed of an idea and just bringing it to the marketplace. A true bootstrapping endeavor, by just going against the grain and bringing a solution to the customers that was looking for one. It's been in our DNA from the early years that we are always trying to become a better version of ourselves every single day. And working alongside my buddy here, Lee Barrett, we've been through through the trials and tribulations of just growing the business. It's been quite the journey.
Yes, and I have to agree with Harry. It's definitely been a journey. It's been 5 o'clock in the morning talks, 11:30 at night talks, driving to a location, mixing boar care and tubs sometimes, and trying to figure out going to a Walmart at 1 o'clock in the morning and trying to get a impeller rod or something to get something so you can do your meeting first thing in the morning. So it's been a journey. It's been a unique journey. It's and actually been very, very interesting that you kind of go through that journey with your buddy, your best friend, kind of going through it and in different parts of the world. I was from the West Coast. He was in the South. So it was kind of interesting finding out what he was going through, what I was going through, and we're going through the same exact thing, but in two parts of the country. I originally came from a company called U.S. Borax, 20 Mule Team, and there was a time, early 90s, that you said that people understood what that meant. Today, you say, and people, I don't, 20 Mule Team, I don't, what was that? Oh, Ronald Reagan. I don't get what that means. What does that mean? So you have to kind of change your delivery, right? And we were a one-trick pony, I guess, when we first started off, and then we were trying to figure out exactly what we needed to go ahead and do with that. Over the trainings, understanding markets, things changing, marketplace changing, we kind of evolved to what we are today. And it's very difficult sometimes sitting behind the desk and trying to tell people what to do outside of the desk, right? And unless you've done both, it's very difficult to kind of get people to kind of see that vision. And we've done that sometimes, not worried about what the person behind the desk was saying and going, okay, let's go and take care of the people in front of the desk. And that's kind of a saying that people don't understand. It was a difficult task sometimes trying to do a lot of things that we were doing, because we were, as Harry said, we went against the grain a lot. Kind of sometimes unorthodox type of training, or going through things to try to make sure that we can grab attention. The one thing we knew, though, we were consistent with our message. And we were very, and I say this a lot of our folks can understand it, we were used to being comfortable being uncomfortable. And, you start hearing a lot of people talk about that today. We were doing that before it was even a thing, right? So, because we were doing wood treatments. What's a wood treatment? To brand new homes. Like what does that mean? I mean, it's some people have theaters that are more expensive than that, and we were trying to protect those theaters, all right, to protect that structure, and no one kind of got it. Like, no, let's go ahead and just treat the soil Let's treat, well, you don't live in the soil. Pests live in the soil, right? We're trading that structure. We got an idea. So we threw so many different ideas out there. Some were positive. Some were kind of, sometimes you hit that door and you're changing the marketplace, and changing is something that people don't do very well. That you never, changing schools, changing hairdos, changing shirts, changing a color, like, hey, I can't wear. No one likes to do that change. And sometimes change is part of that growth. But it's I can't sometimes believe that I've been here 25 years selling. Heck, I can't believe that I was selling pesticides sometimes. If you'd have told me that in my early 20s, I would have laughed at you and said, man, you gotta be on something, right? So we talk about that. I mean, Harry's history of what he's done. I tease Harry a little bit and say, man, you've been a salesman since you've been a kid, right? This guy has done it all, from doing youth stuff and being in front of crowds and speaking. And I mean, it's actually incredible seeing that journey. And sometimes that journey isn't about, hey, what's your sales numbers? That journey is about what's going on in that individual's heart. And not many people who are behind the desk see that. They want to see a number. And what does that number mean at the end of the day? So you get that number in March. What happens in April? Get that number in April. Well, what happens in June? Get that number. Then what happens at the end of the year? You change that number again. How about that individual? There's things in life that happens that you say, hey, what's going on? Family, you have kids, you have children, things happen, but no one cares about that until that person behind the desk, something happens to them. Then it becomes important, right? But you're constantly changing, and those individuals, it's kind of hilarious to me, because those individuals, you call them leaders. Oh yeah, look at the leader, because they can walk inside a plant and people are afraid, or oh my gosh, I don't think you call that a leader when you're the only person thriving off everything everybody else is doing, right? So it's I'm kind of spitballing, going all over the place, but it's interesting to see what happens when you start thinking about the individual to make them a better person, a better salesman, a better technician, a better owner, how things change. And it's been a journey. I mean, it's been a journey. It's sometimes you wonder, sometimes you think, and many times Harry and I have talked about, you're like, yeah, I'm ready to pack this thing up, man. I'm done. I can't. It's there's been meetings and there's been situations you think like, hey, we're getting played here. Something's not right, right? This you're doing all the right things and somebody in the background is not. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, you're doing all the right things, someone in the background is not.
See, we've learned to zig while everybody else was zagging.
Right.
We had to, to get traction in the marketplace. We had to do something very different. We had to be impactful. We had to be memorable. Because as Lee was talking about in the early years, we had to zig while everybody else was zagging. We had to do something different. We had to be memorable. And that's one thing I think we learned from the early get-go was the impact. We can make an impact by doing training classes, by doing seminars. We love to do seminars, and our seminars were very charismatic.
Yeah, they were
very
different,
energizing. And the attendees of these seminars really latched on to that enthusiasm that we have for the product. And they just wanted to know more about it. Why are these guys so excited about this product? There must be something there that makes me want to learn more about it. And then just by going out and doing field demonstrations and just going out and mixing product out on the field and doing demos.
That was
showing them just how easy it was to do the service and how it was going to make their life easier. And then the messaging really started to multiply. Then we started having our customers telling their friends in the industry how much they enjoy the product.
Right.
We had our early adopters, so to speak, that would go out and share the story. It says, you need to talk to Harry. You need to talk to Lee. They got a great message. And it just kind of grew from that. And that one product really accelerated in the growth significantly. And because of that, we were able to talk to all the customers that we had about what are some of the other things that you need? What are some other problems that you have that we can maybe find a solution for? And that's really how products came about.
That's all the other products that have come about. I mean, it's interesting that when you start having that conversation, because you introduce one particular product, then you start becoming a little intuitive as a salesperson, you can say, right? And salespeople to me are CEOs of their many CEOs or CEOs of their territories. And I've always said that we were you're in the business of self, right? But you happen to be working for someone, but people follow that individual. And you have to have a message about self so you can make sure that self is doing the right thing, no matter what you're selling. So we never diverted from that, right? We always stayed true to self. Again, now you of course, personal life, things happen, right? All those kind of different things, but you're on your business life, and that's kind of what gives you that high that you are just feeling, talking in front of 150, 200 people. And again, I don't do it as much as these folks do it anymore, but it's a rush that you feel to get in front of, and you know when you've landed that and you said, man, I put my foot in that one. That's and I try to instill that positiveness to others, to our sales folks, to our department heads, to our company folks, our guys out back. I try to put that in there because, again, it's as I was saying earlier, it's the individual. We put all these individuals together to make one unit, but it's the individual. And if I spend time with Harry, if I spend time with you, Jason, and I can inspire you to make that difference, to think, hey man, we're winning. Okay, we're winning every single time. Instead of somebody looking at it and go, oh man, we're up 10%. Okay, well, what happens if we're down 10%? Am I not going to talk to you? Are you that? So we don't speak because we're down 10%. Or you still have the kids, right? You're still driving up here trying to. So let's just find out. Let's put our heads together and make sure to see what we can do, right? And a lot of times, we live and die by those numbers too, right? Where you're running the business. Well, wouldn't it be interesting to see if we live and die by trying to inspire that individual to kind of be a better individual, to be a better version of themselves? I find that that's important. And I say this to a lot of our folks, is as long as you get your reps in, meaning as long as you're continually out there trying to better yourself, you're going to get better naturally. Then you're going to turn into an expert. You turn into an expert as you go on. We're doing this today. This is our first one. But if we do 30 more of these, we do 50 more of these, all of a sudden it becomes natural. Less setup time, know what works, know what lighting is effective. There's all sorts of different things. Well, the same thing happens when you're out there selling. When you're out there, it becomes, what hotel you stay at, what road. And I laugh. There's be a time when I first moved out to Tennessee, I used to think, that's amazing. I was talking on the phone with Harry. He says, what mile pole are you on? I didn't even know what a mile pole, like what is a mile? On the side, Lee, on the side. Are you on 141? Man, you are exit 142 mile pole. You can get off on the right-hand side. That is the old school true salesman. And it didn't matter where I was at. Oh, so you are where you at? I'm in Wisconsin. Where at? Well, my part. Well, you know what? If you exit 122 on your right hand side, you can get some real good coffee. And those things are memorable. Those things stay with you forever. It wasn't like, hey man, so how many sales did you get done? Sales that you get. It's that journey that we've taken, and we have that journey, or I have that journey with every single person who affects our customer out there today. I have a story. I have a time that we spent, and that's the beautiful thing. I don't really ask them about, hey, so what's your number? Are you going to get any truckloads today? You going to bring any truckload? Hey, you doing okay? You feeling all right? Family good? Good. What do you need? Okay. What can I? And we move on from there. And it isn't because it's a certain, I don't have a recipe. I wish I could tell you that I can put it down. It's not a recipe. It's just being me. I don't try to sugarcoat it. If we have issues or things that we need to talk about, let's talk about them. Doesn't mean I'm going to judge you by it. Let's just talk about it. Let's move on. And some like to dangle that. I've been through that for many, many years. Is dangle that. Oh, I have something on you, so I'm going to use that. I don't use that. I don't see that as motivation. Harry and I we don't do well or work on that, on that kind of stuff. I mean, it's, I know in your heart you want to do well. I know in your heart you want to do well by Nisus, but definitely you want to do well by yourself and your family. Mm-hmm. That's what's important. I mean, you can't change that. Some feel that it's and, you know, Harry and I have talked about every subject that could be a subject for hours,
and then
and then some. Yeah. Ideas, some product ideas have been created over conversations, from equipment to NIBOR DIGR to tarot to programs, advertising. Ideas have been put into just having that conversation, and the conversation was like, "Man, how you doing today?" And then it just takes off from, "Hey, you ever think about?" And boom, 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 boom. The label Comfort Grip container. That was just, I remember I'm sitting in my office just talking like, hey Lee, do we have a service container? I said, I don't know. We can do that. Probably, I guess we can. And then he goes, yeah, well, I got some customers and these guys. I said, hey, well, what happens if we took their brand and I said, let's try one out. Let's do it. So we did one. Of course, now we're giving these things away. So everybody looks at it like, oh my gosh. What happens if this thing hits? Well, who knew it was going to hit? So we did one. We found out that companies love branding themselves. Well, I think that's great, right? So let's do it. So we did one. One turned into 5 turned into 150. 150 turned into 3,000. 3,000 turned into 30,000, right? And it allowed a product to kind of change its trajectory, because we did something for the end user, and all it was a service container with their branding on it. And who doesn't want to brand themselves?
We didn't bat 1,000 all the time.
No.
We've had some programs that probably didn't really work very well. We've had some messaging that didn't really work very well.
Yeah.
We had some ideas that we thought would be good ideas, but just when you actually execute them, they just didn't come off as well as we visualized them to do.
Right.
But that's part of just building the business. I mean, you've learned some things along the way. You go, well, you know what, that's not going to work. You file that idea away and say, well, we won't try that again. So
right.
It's just, but that's part of the fun of it all. Especially when we got people that we love working with every day. We got a place that we enjoy coming here. Our culture is one that is based on accountability.
Yeah.
But it's also based on really being a great teammate. And so when you got all of those things going together, it's hard not to want to try to come up with something innovative, something new, something exciting, and bring it to the table.
Yeah.
And see if there's an opportunity for it. The beauty of our business is that all of our teammates that are remote, talking to customers every single day, they're very intentional about every meeting that they have.
Right.
And they share those conversations with all of us here at Nisus. And then we sit around and say, you know what, this might be a good opportunity.
Yeah.
There's a need for this type of service. There's a need for this type of product. And because we're so nimble and so flexible, we can actually, come up with something because we have a team here that's all in.
Yeah.
They are 100% invested in becoming a better company every single day. And that's why sometimes the new products that we that we come up with, the new ideas we come up with, they can get accelerated to the marketplace very quickly.
Very quickly.
Okay? And I think that has a lot to do with the culture that we have here, because people genuinely enjoy working with everyone else. So that kind of gets back to, our DNA as a company. Okay, so everybody always asks this question. It says, Nisus, what does that even mean? What does that mean? Where did that name even come from?
Yeah.
And I remember having a conversation with our founders way back in the early years. And of course, this is how I remember it. All right? And this said that when you look at the letters, Nisus,
Right.
on paper or on a sign, just the way the letters look, it's very clean. It looks different. It looks exciting.
Right.
But then when you look at the word Nisus in the dictionary, there's actually a definition there. And, depending on which dictionary you look at, there's a message of always aspiring, always trying to be better, always striving for excellence. And what better word, what better definition for a company can you have with that? So that's really what Nisus means. And so we just kind of embody that just in our own private personal DNA, and that is what you see in every employee here. They always striving to be a better version.
They are. I mean, and you hit it. I mean, Nisus. Nisus is one of those interesting places, and you can't feel it until you are in it. And you have to. And I love folks from the outside, and I say folks from the outside, customers, suppliers, to come inside so they can feel it, right? I mean, depending on how the hiring process, I will go out and sit down with the individual or individuals, depending on what it is and depending on what position, and I try to find out that person a fit, and I don't even talk about. So hey, show me your work. I don't even talk about that, because if we're sitting down talking, we're most likely we're halfway there. So now it's all about, what do you have in your chest? What do you have in your heart? What's going on? Tell me what's happening. What's important to you? And when you find that, you can put these teams together that are just, listen, our sales team, our marketing team, our technical staff, it's crazy. And I use the word crazy. It is crazy, the talent that these guys have. The sales team, I don't care what anybody says. I from the help of Harry, from the help of the Marty Keens out there in the world, from Jim Sparks, George Williams, Charlene Mertz, from all these people getting ready to talk to all these guys, Jeff Cadell, Chaz Estrada was a new one. All these folks that are getting the opportunity to get in front of people, I'm amazed how those folks work. They're all amazing individuals first, before their career and trade. So that's what I love about it.
Sure.
They're amazing individuals first, and then, man, I'm glad you work for me. It is amazing to watch. It is amazing to see. I like what they bring to the table. I like how they can fit into the new Nisus message, we will say. And Nisus message at one time in Harry and our days was just carried by Harry and Lee. It's that's the message. And okay, what does your corporate office say? What is that? Well, that might end up being a different message. I mean, it's so. But what is the message that you're saying out there? It's yeah. Okay. That's that, man. I can eat that up, Lee. Okay. So what's happening? Well, that might be a little different, but don't worry about that. We'll still get you some products out and things like that. So what the culture shift, the culture change, which everybody tells me you can see it. It's very difficult to see on my side, because it's consistently happening, and I'm intentional with that, and it's very difficult. And sometimes it's it's a lot more difficult than trying to go out there and get a market. Right? A market out there exists, you do it. But to change the culture is different. Is different. Opportunity, the process is completely different. There's no Excel sheet or no a software that you put in and let me see if I put that in there and I come out with a good culture. There's no way to I don't there's no way.
We're old school still in a lot of ways.
We very much so are. And the only way it changes is when I see, or I kind of go, is when somebody comes on in, or somebody like Harry goes on the road and comes back in and goes, hey, man, what's happening here is crazy. I don't see it. I mean, I see the change, right? Because we got a new person running marketing. We got a new person running regulatory. I see that change, but I don't see that culture changes when you walk on in and culture change, what it means to me is you walk in and it affects everyone, right? Non-culture changes is you walk on in and you don't care if Harry's having a bad day, you're having a bad day. You're like, hey, day is great for me, right? And it doesn't affect. That's hard to do. That's hard to run a company that way. It's very difficult to run a company that way. And call it. Like, man, Lee, that's crazy, Lee. What do you mean you want everybody to be happy? I'm not saying that. I want each individual to be the best individual they could be. And if that means that some days you don't have good sunny days and some days you have rainy days, well, we all have that. Okay? But it doesn't mean that it has to stay that way continuously. That means there's a meeting you might go to and you say, man, thank you, man. I needed that. That's all you need. Or there's a conference call that you're doing and you go, man, I didn't see it that way, but it was a good call. I feel good about that. That's all you kind of need. And we kind of forget that, right? We kind of forget that what we're doing and working in that process. But culture change was probably the most difficult thing that I've ever had to do in my career, and seeing it first of all, seeing it that it needed to happen, and it was. And sometimes people don't see it. They don't think that
a culture change though actually impacts the bottom line of a company
at the end of the day.
I mean, I think a lot of people don't really understand just how major
it
is.
Right.
Is when you have a good culture. Like I mentioned earlier, people love to come here.
Right.
People are just waiting to come here and just associate with their colleagues here. And like I say, we're always working, always striving to become better every single day. That is the culture that we have. And what's happened though, it shows in the numbers. Okay, so that's been
at the end of the day, for some reason, right? It's sneaky upper, and people want to find out. Well, tell me, write that down. Show me a PowerPoint presentation on that. There's no. Well, give me the book that I can read that'll do that. I don't know. Did you go through a certain system plan? No, I didn't go through a system. That's not no. It's through, and Harry said it, through our lives, through our many meetings, there's things that you say, man, I don't want to be like that, or there's a better way of doing than that. Again, it's some have been successful, but what is success? What? Show me your bank account? That's success. Well, anyone who's ever had children, do they care? Not at all, right? They definitely don't care what's on your business card. You're like, hey, well, Dad's the president. I'm like, yeah, okay, Dad, yeah, oh, whatever. Mom's no, that's no one. At the end of the day, they don't care. They want to find out, what are you bringing to the table? Are you mentally in? Are you spiritually in? What are you bringing? And sometimes you sometimes you deal with some insecurities. You do that, but that you got to help that individual along on that. They're going on, and Harry and I, we laugh about this. We talk about this a lot. Is sometimes people on power trips. You kind of hey, that was my invention, or I'm the one who did that. Okay, well, you did it for everyone, so good job. That's what everybody needed. That piece of equipment that's out there, that's for everyone. That's not only for the guys out there. That's allowing them to have something for pride, right? I come on in every morning and I do a once around. I drive around. Drive around. And I tell even our guys, why don't you drive around? Drive around and see something. Find out. Don't let me be the one to tell you, hey, did you see that trash over there? Did you see that? Or so this is your place too, not mine. It's all of ours, right? So it's been a pleasure on this ride. I can't believe, and I've been here 25 years. If you told, again, as I said earlier, you told me, Lee, you're going to be doing this at this, I would have laughed at you and thought, man, come on, you got to be kidding me. And sometimes life throws you a wrench and you have to buckle up and figure out, like, what is this about? Why me? Why am I? Or sometimes I put myself in situations like, hey, what have I done now? But there's always that opportunity to better yourself. This young man here told me one time we were getting into the fly business, and we had a product and he was dead serious. Hey, Lee, I know nothing about flies. I'm getting ready to do this project. I know nothing about it. I said, whoa. I said, everyone always started not knowing about flies. I said, but I will guarantee you, after this is done, you'll be a fly expert. Take the hits that you get. Don't act like you're an expert. Figure that out. And I said, I know you will be an expert. That was what? 10 years ago. 10 years ago. So right. 10 years ago, we were talking about flies. He was getting ready to do his first fly because, Lee, I know nothing. And here we are. And he's the fly guy now.
Yeah,
okay?
I remember the very first presentation I gave. It was awful.
But everybody has the first day.
The slide projector. I mean, the power pump projector was just kind of going kind of wonky a little bit. It didn't flow very well.
Right.
And I remember you telling me this one time. Says when you create a new presentation, by the time you do the third or the fourth time, you got it. It's in you. You know it. And now when I do a fly presentation or a beetle presentation, what have you, you do them so long that you can literally just tell the story without even
it's very
showing a picture or a slide.
Right.
Period. You can sit there and talk to someone and mentally just know the story, the cadence, and everything to the point where, you just gave a 1 hour seminar, just sitting here talking one-on-one without even the computer on or anything.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. But you know what? You said something earlier about, our fantastic sales team. And we do have an elite sales team. But, at the end of the day, though, Lee, people are going to buy from people that they like and they trust. And that has been true for years and years and years, and it's still true today. Every one of our teammates out there are greatly respected. They're very present. They're doing seminars every single week, and it shows. And because the numbers never lie. Then listen, the
numbers never. I'm glad you said that because we added a sales persona in Hawaii, in a marketplace that we've always wanted some presence, right? And it was perfect. The weather, the moisture, all those kind of things, and sometimes you think about it. I got Sonia out there. We have her out there. That was the beginning of another string of hiring great people. I mean, what's happening out there is very unique and very interesting, and she's literally out on an island by herself, right? When you think about it, you think, hey man, what is it to get to Hawaii? That's a long way, okay? And so I have to give her props for doing and how she's actually going about her messaging out there, because it's not easy. It's, first of all, this conception or misconception or that sales stuff. Well, you must be eating at the best restaurants, having a good time. It is great. It'd be great if that's where you lived and your home was in a hotel. It's not. You have to turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it off. And then the key is making sure you know how to turn it off. because that ends up being the issue, that you don't turn it off. And you and I say issue, and it might not be the issue. Sometimes it's great for it to be on the time, but it is, you have to find that serenity somewhere that gives you that calm and that peace, so you can actually recharge self. Because it'll. I mean, we've been on the road a long time, and it starts taking its toll on you mentally, especially if the person behind the desk doesn't respect what you're doing in front of the desk. And we all have gone. I mean, if I put you behind the mic, if I went out there and told one of my production guys, get behind, everybody has that story that somebody told you how your future is going to be, or that you can't be something because. And I think it's the most hilarious thing to hear that somebody's going to tell me about how my life and future is going to be. So basically what they're telling you is, I'm going to control your life and your destiny. As long as you keep on working with me, I'm going to control you. You'll never be this, or you'll never be that. I mean, so that's a strong statement to say, right? And some people think that that's motivating, and that's that person's going to go and run through that wall. Now watch this. I mean, think about it. It's kind of not right. All right, think about it. So it's a unique journey. It's a fun journey. The people that I'm here with, the 75 employees that are here, they're my road dogs. I'm going to ride with them, and however we get what we get, we bring on. Sometimes I say I drive the bus, and some people come off the bus, some people get on the bus, and right now the bus is full. And we just need to do what we need to do and do it the best way we can do. There's this whole world of marketing and social media, man. We get more user share. Sometimes I don't even know how did that happen, right? But you have to. I don't know if if reinventing yourself is the right thing to say, right? But you almost have to, right? HB here said something years ago, and our marketing team, our senior, had no idea what he was saying. And he says, hey, we're looking out to get more user share. And that concept to them was, oh, so you want to spend more money. No. You didn't hear what he just said. He wants to get more user share, which means we'll get more users. And the market share will come with it. Yeah. But in their mind, they were like, oh, so you want to spend money. That's what you're talking about. Okay, we won't be doing that. And today, what are we doing? Getting more user share, trying to get all the best things that we can get to make sure the people who are working have the top quality cameras, speakers, whatever you need so you can do your job. And then let's go get some more user share.
And that's why we need a bigger bus.
That's why we need a bigger. I'm all tapped out when it comes to buses, man. I'm all tapped up. We might need a plane or something. I don't know. No, I don't know. But no, that is. I mean, that's what kind of goes through my head every single day. Is okay. Are we being the best? And some days I even have to question myself. I said, did I bring my game today, or what am I doing? I might be kind of tiptoeing through that. I'm not bringing my A game today, or something, or something's not right today, or I'm a trend tendency guy. I'm watching from up above here, and sometimes I swoop on down a little bit. I get a little closer to the ground, and then I kind of work my way back up and kind of take a little different view. And I have my salespeople, my marketing team sitting here right now. So if anybody can see it on camera, or whatever, I say, listen, we wouldn't be doing this today,
correct,
if it wasn't for them. This has been talked about for years, and you would think that I was asking for a heart transplant. Okay, this has been done for years, and they make it seem easy. So if people are out there thinking, all right, I got Jason, I got my girl Julie, trust me, this would never have happened if they don't even think outside the box. Okay, I'm telling you right now, it was like asking to do it. I just got a financial statement on it, and I didn't want to hear a financial statement. I wanted to hear, can we do this? Is that possible? And it was very, very, I'm watching everybody else do it, right? I mean, I'm watching everybody else do it. And why couldn't we do it? It was something, and if we could have done it 10 years ago, man, but it's timing, right? Sometimes the man upstairs has a different time for you, and let's see how we can ride this thing out. We don't know. You never know what happens, what's next, what's around the corner. But I am blessed with the people that are here and the people that come through my path that actually work at Nisus Corporation. I couldn't ask for a better squad, a better team, a better teammate. We keep it real. I can switch and put them in this seat and me ask the questions, and I would want them to be as real as can be. And I think they would do that for me. Because there's some CEOs and presidents don't want to switch. They're like, I don't want you to hear what so-and-so has to say about me. I'm leaving the room. But I'm good with it. And I think that what we do and what we're doing here now, Nisus Corporation, is special. It's a special because it's a special group that's doing it. And it's a very unique team that we have. Very unique.
Yeah, I can speak to that because I've been here almost 2 months now, and
seems like 2 years.
I know. It feels like I've been here forever.
It seems like you've been here longer than that.
But it's great. Like you're talking about the culture, and the culture is amazing. My last job, I worked there 23 years, and I never could see myself working somewhere else. And I came here, I'm like, man, I wish I found this place earlier. This is great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
awesome. It feels like a family. I mean,
right,
like everyone legitimately cares about everyone else.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's see that kind of stuff. It is actually feels good to hear, and that's that whole culture change, right? That you see it, and sometimes you think like, hey, things are going really well. And then you bring somebody else into that family, that Nisus family, and you go, man, fits right in. It's and I remember, and I knew it. Jason was on. I called Jason. We met Jason in the board, and I thought, man, I like him. Julie said, oh, you're gonna love this guy. I was like, okay, I love Julie, right? Julie's awesome. She's a director of marketing. I said, okay, I was all right. You got another guy? She goes, I got one. We sit down, we talk. I said, okay. I said, all right, let's see how we can put this together. Timing wise, it was March. I was out in Boston. Julie says, you got to call him. I said, he's getting. I said, oh man, it's okay. Let me find out. So I'm walking down the Boston Street. So I call him, I pick him up. I said, hey, I think you were in Sevierville at the time. He goes, I'm in Sevierville with my family. I said, oh, whoa. I said, I didn't. I said, listen, we're gonna do something. I said, let me get back. I said, I think this is going to work out. Let me get back to you. I said, I apologize for the delay. Of course, that first quarter, things start getting crazy in the first quarter, right? Things are starting ramping up, but we needed somebody in that, right? And I'm thinking, oh boy, so I don't want to let Julie down. I don't want to let Jason down. So I'm thinking, I say, hey, listen, I'm going to call you. We're talking, and I think it was a Friday or something, St. Patrick's Day or something like that. So we're going. That Monday hits, and another week goes by. I mean, it just flies by, and I'm thinking, Julie says, hey, I'm thinking, oh my goodness. I said, okay. I forgot because it was in the quarter. Things were going. I'm thinking, I said, I'll talk to him. I said, I'll get something sent out. And next you know, Jason's here. It's like, what? Desk set up. I'm thinking, whoa, okay. That happened. And he says 2 months. I can't believe it's 2 months. It literally seems like he's been here for years. So, and you're 6 months. And Julie is 6 months, and it seems like Julie's been here 6 years. Okay, it's just crazy, right? And then it's interesting because again, in that marketing and that technical world, it's an uptake of what we're trying to do, right? Because they both come from a completely different industry, which I like, right? Because they have ideas, but it's amazing how they have to grasp it, take it, flip it on his head and put it back out there. And that's if you see what we're doing now, they have completely flipped it on his head. And there's more to come. I think there's more opportunities for what we're doing on the marketing side. And I think marketing and advertising, I think people get it mixed up that it's the same. Marketing is completely different than advertising, right? Advertising, you take an ad, put it out there. Marketing is you come up with a creative to get a reaction, right, from looking at that photo is what do people see when that happens, and if people are tuning in on what Nice has done, check it out. It really is interesting what that team is doing, and if I can clone 5 of them and get them 5 out, I'm pretty sure we can have 5 Jasons and 5 Julies, and they'll be busy. That's how crazy it is. It's
it's one thing to say this about you're right about the marketing and advertising, but when we change the marketing and advertising, it's almost like having a new product launch.
Correct.
Okay? Because
Correct.
You see the impact that marketing and advertising makes on our existing products, but in a way because things change. You get new packaging concepts, you get new design. All of that just brings more awareness. It puts more eyeballs on an ad or on a marketing message, and they say, I want to try that.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they realize that why haven't I tried this before?
Yeah.
So that to me is been something that I've caught recently because of all the changes that we made. In trying to be a bit better in that session.
Yeah. No, I mean I can't believe 6 months. 6 months, and it feels like a whole new company just for the marketing aspect of
it. It's been impactful as well. That's the
you are correct. You are correct.
The major difference is just in the design that we have in all of our ads and all of our packaging, just in our corporate literature
it's intentional. It's intentional.
Right.
I mean, it is very, very intentional. It's you. If you looked at the ad, you can find out why did you come up with that. What was the motivation from that ad? Instead of saying, "Hey, took a picture of the box, put a couple of little words beside it, send it out." There's the ad. There's a reason of creativity. If you sat down and asked these 2 members, "Hey, why'd you guys come up with it?" It would be, well, hey, boom, 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 boom. There's a reason why, and the end result. I never felt that before.
I would love to see that. If you look at our ads from our beginning,
right,
compared to our ads today, I mean, the messaging is obviously different, but just the quality of everything is
quality's A1.
Literally night and day. I mean, back in, we were so. In the early years, we were so trying to just gain traction that we would throw anything at a wall to see if it was stuck.
Right.
I mean, we even did a scratch and sniff ad for Baggage at one time. That was the craziest thing ever. But it was cool. Okay.
Right.
We did ads with cartoons. We tried everything. Literally tried everything. So over the years of our company. As you get bigger, add more people, all the people that you bring into the organization, they bring their talents with them, they bring their ideas with them, and you just kind of mold everything.
Correct.
And that's the beauty of Nisus today, is that everybody here has a seat at the table.
You are correct.
Everybody has a seat at the table, meaning that everybody's idea is, it's going to be heard. Doesn't necessarily mean it's an idea that's going to be executed, but it's an idea that puts out there on the table. It gets discussed. It gets looked at. It gets analyzed. Say, let's try that. Maybe there's a better process. Maybe there's a better way how we can make our products. Maybe there's a better way how we can, have better engagement with the customer. All of those things, and that's really is what the type of company that we have today. That's something that I have seen gotten incredibly better over the past several years, and right now that's why we get so many people every week asking us if we're hiring.
Right.
Is there can I come work for you guys, or is there a spot for me there? And because people see it, it's been very impactful. Our CEOs out on the street, they represent us so well and represents the best of everything that we have. And that people want to know more about it. They want to use our products. They want to know more about who the company is. They want to see us. When people come here, at 100 Nisus Drive, and they pull into the facility. First thing they see is that big, beautiful sign. They see the Loch Ness Monster rock formation. They see the big bird at the entrance. They see all the landscaping. Then you walk in the building, and things goes, wow, I had no idea you guys were this big. And then you walk through the facility. You go through the marketing department upstairs. You go through the technical services. You go through everything. You see everything being manufactured. You see the warehouses. You see the 20 forklifts going everywhere. You see all this, everything. And they just become mesmerized by it. You know, the jaws drop. And I see it. I kind of walk behind everyone else when you're conducting the tour.
The Disney tour.
And you're telling the story. And I just chuckle. I says, these people had no idea. They had no idea we were this way. They think we're some little bitty company.
You can see it in their face. You can see it in their face.
You got trains, cars unloading here at a rail spur. We got a fleet of tanker trucks, parked out back, delivering product everywhere. And they realized, it says, what have they been doing?
Yeah.
Well, we've been busy.
Yeah.
This is who we are.
It's been good, man. It's been really, really good. It's so key to this is just making sure we can keep on going, and doing what we're doing and doing the right things, right?
Doing the right things every day.
Doing the right things every day.
And this is where it has come to this point.
Yeah.
And so I just think it's just been quite the journey. But the thing is, we still got places to go.
Yeah, we do. We do. We still have definitely places to go. And hopefully we can do this again.
I feel like we took over the conversation. And
we have. We have.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I was just sitting here soaking it all in. You guys, there's so much I didn't know about Nisus. And Lee, your passion for this place is amazing, especially the culture and just the people in general. It's amazing because it seems like everyone knows each other's name here. And it's just I can't even put into words how special this place is.
You mentioned something, Jason, earlier that, the culture is incredible. You have a family type atmosphere. You've only been here 2 months, but what's really different is that everybody knows everybody's names. Okay, I just want to say that everybody knows everybody's names. You can, from the front office, all the way back to the shipping department, all the way back to building 3, in the manufacturing. Everybody knows everybody's names, and I think that's important. I mean, it's not just family. It's not just a word to say, because it is something that we really are here. And yes, we are a family, but we're a business too.
Right.
Okay. So
right.
But we have the type of culture where we hold everybody accountable in a professional way. Okay. So I think that really goes a long way toward what you have kind of instilled in us. Since being the CEO. It has made a major impact in the type of company that we are.
Yeah. We have it's the empowering, the accountability. It's kind of who we are. It's definitely who we are, and that's I'm proud of that. But again, it does not happen, and does not happen without the people. That's the key. It doesn't happen without the people. So,
but we have stories. Oh, we have stories.
Yeah, that'll be episode number 2. That'd be episode number 2.
We have stories out there. One thing is that we're very customer service oriented, customer centric, and we'll do things for customers that are kind of unusual. Lee knows that, cooking is a hobby of mine. Specifically, cooking barbecue is a hobby of mine. I've been a competitive barbecuer for years, retired from cooking competitively. But, back in for several years at Nisus, Lee and I would literally travel the country cooking for customers. We go from Knoxville to West Texas to Ohio to Virginia
To the Carolinas. Louisiana.
Cooking for our customers, whether they be a home builder or a pest control company, or it didn't matter. We did a lot of events, and so we've had some great stories there. And still to this day, people will still talk about that.
Yeah,
we just had one about 4 years ago. You and I drove to was it Arlington, Texas, Dallas, Texas, to cook for a customer there.
Yeah, for a customer.
And we took our time getting there. It was 3 days getting there, and then
you're going to go to that story. I know. I can feel it. I can feel it.
We were literally an exit away. This was an 8-lane interstate.
Wow.
We were an exit away.
Yeah.
And I was towing the big barbecue rig behind us.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I heard this loud boom. It was like a bomb that just went off.
Yeah.
And the tire on my barbecue rig literally just exploded, obliterated. It hit the fender well so hard that it knocked the tail light off and flung it 8 lanes across the interstate. And there we sat on the side of the interstate, and the exit we needed to get at was literally 200 feet away.
Literally.
But it didn't have a jack. Okay.
No, sir.
So we had to call AAA or somebody to come out and raise the, get us able to get the cooker off, and had a special lug wrench on it, and had to do all sorts of crazy stuff. But we've cooked literally for thousands of people.
Yeah. Literally 5 minutes to our destination, and 2.5 hours later, we get to our destination. You can see the exit.
Yeah, you can see it.
You can see the exit.
But we've cooked many times. It's just something fun to do. And that again, that's just part of the culture of who we are. We do things that are different. And now, I've got a couple of colleagues who are cooks themselves. Say, hey, now we go everywhere and cook for people. All right, so he's John Singletary.
John Singletary,
up in Washington D.C. area. Yes. He's got his own barbecue rig now. Of course, we trash talk each other all the time, but we help each other cook events. And of course, we got two events coming up later on this year that we'll be cooking at. So again, it's just little things that we do, which end up being big things, but they're memorable. Okay, because
people remember those things.
Right,
they remember those things. It's it is a memory, definitely.
I've been hearing so much about this barbecue, and I have yet to have any. Come on, Harry, you need to make some barbecue and let me try some for real.
Well, we'll have to.
We'll take care of them. We'll take care of them. Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, man,
we'll definitely make that happen.
We got to do something about that.
All right, thanks for joining us on Nisus Nation. I really appreciate you guys coming on, and everyone watching and listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is our first episode, and if you could, wherever you're listening, please subscribe and give us a 5-star rating and review. And if you're on YouTube, please hit that little notification icon and give us a thumbs up, because it really helps us with the algorithm, because it's a new show, and it really helps us get out to more people. But guys, thanks again for joining us. And once again, we're Nisus Nation, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.